Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another indie comic book review. The books in this review were released on
July 15, 2015.
And this is a very short indie review.
I'm really actually surprised that...
We have more physical than digital.
Yeah, I mean, we got all physicals just right here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 physicals and 4 digital. 9 books. This is a first.
This is a first in history.
I'm really shocked. I guess with the summer,
companies
but
usually
then
again,
take a break.
when we get a small pile, then probably next week means, you know,
This is
that
a big
kind
one.
of hit chicken before they hatch. Well, for me at least.
Chickens and hatching.
Yeah. So I guess without further ado, let's start with the physical book, starting with my book, the variant cover of Mega Man, issue number 51 of World Unite, part 8 of 12. And this is your favorite part of the book, because we finally get
what we've been waiting for since the beginning of Act 2.
Right, so we have Sonic and Mega Man who are just battling against Sigma, and as they're a little bit weak, and as Sigma says, I'm going to be a god with amount of powers, and yada yada yada, and all that other stuff. I will say though, the artwork is still really amazingly drawn with all 8 parts so far.
Isn't it always? Oh, and I realized I missed Mega Man.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the next book is going to be Sonic. Mega Man will be in episode 95. Next week we will not have it. The following week it will be in the following week's books.
And there will be a double Kitty Corner review
of both
battles after the World Unite title concludes. And I gotta show this page because here are your Street Fighter characters. Now finally, after 8 parts, we have Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile, and Ken. It's weird how I'm saying Ryu now.
And they don't really talk. Chun-Li talks, but the others just use the word bubbles are all their moves.
Ryu and Ken talk.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like how Ken says it's like we stepped into a kid's cartoon or something. I thought that was actually funny. So, basically Nicole's just setting a plan about going into other portals, which means other characters might appear, in order to stop Sigma from using his plans because he backed out to have more plans for our heroes. And also, Xander Payne and with Doctors Eggman Wally, of course they go back to being evil after the whole thing of saying our geniuses will rule everything. I mean, of course, we all saw that coming. I mean, it's not that. And the second row has actually finished. So we have just one more row of 8 more parts to finish this and to complete the variant poster, which hopefully I'll be able to put together and put on my Facebook, because I would really like that. Now we go into the other Archie comic, which is Sonic World Unite Battles, issue number 1, which is basically talks about before the Deadly Six captured both Sonic and Mega Man.
Well, this book came out.
It's a wraparound.
Actually, this book came out this week. This is official. This is the official week for the Sonic book. Mega Man came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, last month. So we have Zorro, Xena, and Zavok, who are the Deadly Six, the 3 of the 6 Deadly Six. Try to say that 3 times fast. Going after Sonic and just trying to capture him. Here's some artwork, which is, again, drawn really awesome. And that's really it. It's just their plot. And then we also get this other story of Styx versus Roll, which was kind of stupid because Styx... Roll thought that Styx was going after her, but then in the end it was all just for a broom that she was going up against, and I thought that was actually really funny. So we have the winner Styx, kind of, I guess. And then we just go into this other story where it's Knuckles versus Breakman, and I do have to say though, the fight between them was like really intense. Like this page right here was really amazing. I mean, it's really all the same artwork, really. And I'll show more on Comic Frontline, and Knuckles won. So that's really something on. And then it goes on to, you know, how the battle is still going on in each of these Sonic and or Mega Man World Unite titles. So it's a really good issue. I mean, do you have to get it to follow what's going on World Unite? Not exactly.
It's a what do you call it, companion.
Right, it's a companion, and it's something that would be enjoyable for those of you Sonic and or Mega Man fans. Now we go into your book from Image.
Okay, in Invincible issue number 121, we break away from Mark and Eve and we go back to Earth and Rex, and there's a resistance against Rex, and Immortal, I almost said Invincible, Immortal is fighting him, and that's how the book kind of opens up. It opens up with Immortal fighting Rex and getting sliced apart and getting put into prison. However, it was this big plan to break people out of Rex's prison. They escape. I'm not going to say how. It turns out somebody who was working for Rex turns on him, and everybody escapes. Something happens to the other guy, the guy that took over for Invincible. I didn't read the books at that time.
Did they say the name?
Xandal.
Oh.
But he wants to stay that way. I'm not going to tease much else. They break away, but then the people that they freed are starting to say, hey, the world is actually at peace. And I love how everybody's like, are you crazy? This is not peace. He's actually keeping things in an order. And Rex shows up, and a few of them actually leave with him. So he says as long as they don't go after him, the Resistance, he won't bother them until they come around. And he hopes that one day they'll come around and see that what he's doing is for the best.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to happen. I see Mark coming back and ending Rex once and for all, but that's not going to be for a while at least. An excellent read. We go back to Mark in the next issue. I like that. No offense. We know that things on Earth are going bad, and they're going to get worse before they get better, but again, really good issue. Invincible is a really, really great book. I would love to go back and get some back issues on Invincible at some point, like back trade paperback. Start from the very beginning, kind of like what I did with the Turtles and a few other series. I'd love to do it with that, with Chew, and there are a few others. They're just not on the top of my head. Zenescope, Aliens versus Zombies, issue number 1.
Yeah, how is that book?
It was interesting. Okay, so the zombie infestation starts with a comet that falls to Earth, and it spews out this green goop, and the zombie outbreak begins. And slowly but surely the entire world gets engulfed in zombies. It turns out there's this alien armada that are actually trying to stop this infection, which is what the comet was, from spreading throughout the world, or the universes. And the captain is looking to try to somehow save Earth, I believe. And the president goes off into the air because obviously, you know, the world is going to hell, so got to save the president. So he does, and they actually end up passing the UFO, but it turns out, minor spoiler alert, one of the crew members becomes a zombie, and they end up crashing into the alien ship, and you get a rundown of who all the aliens are. I'm not going to run all of them down, but the captain's name is Nova. I feel like that's the most important name that you guys need to know about. So they send probes all around the world to kind of figure out how bad the infection is. The president's ship crashes into them. They crash land on Earth. They're now stranded on Earth. And I guess in the next issue, we get the official zombies versus aliens. Lots of dialogue that I have left out on both the alien and human side. Good setup. I have to see where the next issue goes. If you're interested in Aliens vs. Zombies, you'll check it out. If not, you won't. But I'll be honest with you. I really enjoyed this first issue. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Alright. And a book from Valiant. Book of Death, issue number 1 of 4. This book was really outstanding.
And not only is it going to be its own miniseries, but it's going to touch on every single one of the Valiant books, but not in their books. There's going to be one-shots for the next couple of weeks.
With the full of...
And all the... you name it.
Yeah. So it starts off with this chaotic outbreak that happens in the town, and we see that Colonel Jamie Capshaw sent Arak to go talk with Gillid, who has Tama, because they saw a picture. The artwork's amazing, by the way. They saw a picture where Gillid and Tama were involved in that infestation. And they want to bring Tama in, and Gillid saying, you know, you're not going to do that because I don't want to go through this and that. And then we get a little bit more about the Book of Death and what it's about, because Tama is into reading those stuff. How New Life began, how evil.
It shows all of what's going, the whole Valiant universe.
Right. And it actually builds a foreshadowing of the fall of comic books, which actually, it was put together really nicely. And then we get introduced to this other character, David, who is more on the...
dark?
He's like more on the dark side about, you know, taking Tama in, or Tama, or something like that. But then the Colonel sends both not just Exo, but Ginger, Livewire, and Ninjak to try to force to bring him and the girl in. Ninjak strikes the first move, and well, he says, "You struck me, now you bleed next." And that's a bad move Ninjak made, especially against Gillen. And I also love, I'm just going to show
this
the
back shows some extra sketches.
The sketch arts for the preview for issue number 2, The Fall of Bloodshot, Harbinger, and I believe there was something else, and Ninjak, like basically all the fall offs that we're going to be seeing. So that's actually a really great, you know,
setup.
A setup, but more of a foreshadowing, building up to the fall ofs that'll be coming out each month.
Next week, I think, is the fall of the
Bloodshot. Yeah. So I'll be definitely covering that. Non-comic Frontline, just in the indie review.
All right, digital books now. Big Trouble in Little China, issue number 13.
All right, whoa. Gotta get the title.
Sorry.
Here. I kind of was half and half with this book. Like, it's really just Jack Burton, who is now in 2015 because...
Oh my god, the artwork's changed.
The artwork did change, but I guess for a little bit for the better. It's just him now saying, I'm in 2015, you know, I'm trying to understand these new terms. I don't know what you mean by, like, Facebooks or stuff like that, you know. Like, it's actually funny. And this man's talking about how this guy, the 80s man, broke out of the cave because there's these gang members who are looking for Jack Burton. And that's basically the setup for that first one. And then he's just going to friends, like saying, you know, hey, you know, this is me, I haven't changed. And he kind of, you know, I can't remember who she's looking for. Like, go up. Like, Jack was looking for, Mayo Yan, and it was actually his daughter, Wyoming, I think her name is. And then, you know, the father, I can't remember what his name is, was actually talking about, you know, what he's been through with some other stuff, along with the scar on his face and everything, you know. There's more about that. I don't want to give too much away. I want you guys to definitely read the book. But the daughter doesn't like him, obviously, because he's being like a little jerk. But we get a little bit of his laboratory and everything, or basement like, and there's like a lot of interesting things, like titles like Big Trouble in Little Something. And there was one part of a pun with, you know, with the title, like Big Trouble in Little China reference. So the gang who are looking for Jack, they find him, and they tell the boss who's looking for him that has his truck, like saying, I could use him as to complete my collection of Jack Burton. It was just a little because of the artwork, but the story was okay. I just hope that doesn't dwindle, because I like that book.
Alright, we're in Dynamite now for 2 books. Reanimator, issue number 4.
Yeah, the last and final issue. And basically, just to sum it up without giving too much of the heavy dialogue, it's basically Susan Green going after the killer of her husband. I believe it was Duran something. It's at the end of the page. Along with Dr. Oh God, why? West. Dr. West going up against his arch rival, or actually the person who's going against him that changed him into this hideous monster. And he explains why, because the sample of his blood changed him into this. And there's a lot of people that are just going after one another, like Susan Green just going after the husband's killer, along with Dr. West going after the people who want to kill him due to the fact of how he changed them into, you know, these different people. And we go in the lab, we go up because I want to get his name. Go down a little bit. There. Louis Duran is the one Susan Green was going after who killed her husband. And she really turned to be just like him. And that's... It's the end. It's not a question mark even. I was so upset about this because I really liked reading Reanimator. I mean, I hope they continue, because I loved reading Reanimator. Definite 4 out of 5, like 4 to 5 out of 5. Definitely get a trade paperback.
Love this cover. Lady Rawhide, Lady Zorro, issue 4.
And this too, sadly, is another end issue. And it's just both of them just trying to find a way to release the woman from their little prison cells because they have been kidnapped. Because there's still more out there. And they follow this guy who has a wife as a skull, which is kind of a little disturbing, to help them out. So they go after them, and they work together as a team. And that's really the basis of the book, just them trying to get them out. And there was a little bit of a hard time where they almost didn't win, but they actually did win. And then there was one part where Lady Rawhide just told one of the people off, just saying, you know, like, I'm trying to remember, like, just keep going, don't worry, I'll find it. And, you know, and then they just said, just untie all these women now, let them go. Wait. Like, basically, she says, like, you should know better, and I have to get these girls home now, so the way you treat them was just wrong, basically. And as they ride into the sunset, just take one guess. Oh, and the lady gets what she gets in the end, And at the end of the issue, guess who we get that appears? Just take one guess, Chris. Zorro. Zorro, seriously, the legendary Zorro makes an appearance in the end, and all 3 of them just ride into the sunset, and that's the end. Great ending to that book, just to see Zorro.
I love how he says, can any of you explain why I'm dead?
Yeah, that's another funny thing. But another great book and another trade paperback if you guys are interested. Now your last book.
Alright, I thought this was going to get an honorable mention, but it doesn't have to. Godzilla in Hell, issue number 1. There is no dialogue in this book. None.
Yeah,
Lots of great covers.
I took a look at that, actually.
Lots of great covers, but no dialogue whatsoever. Godzilla, obviously, at the end of died, or seemed like he died at the end of Rulers of Earth. And in this issue, it starts off with him falling. Obviously, falling to hell. He crashes into hell, destroys a bunch of stuff, comes face to face with this weird monster that looks like him, except the monster's beaten up. And then out of nowhere, the Godzilla monster opens up. The Godzilla replica opens up into this humongous monster creature, and the rest of the book is Godzilla fighting it, beating it, and then again falling. So it's like basically on repeat. The same thing. Godzilla falls, crashes to hell, goes through the city, finds this Godzilla lookalike. The Godzilla lookalike morphs into this gigantic monster-like creature. Godzilla fights it, and then I guess I don't know if it's a complete, loop, because it says to be continued. So obviously in the next issue, either he'll break the loop, or maybe he's falling to another stage of hell.
Yeah. That could be it, but wow.
This is a good book. The artwork was great. No need for dialogue. Perfect Godzilla book. Definitely worth reading into if you're a Godzilla fan. If not, you don't have to. But for me, I love Godzilla, so I can't wait for the next issue. And I love how in this story, there's no human dialogue or human story going on in the background of the Godzilla fight. Nobody cared about that in Rulers of Earth. Yeah. I didn't care about it, at least. I cared about what Godzilla was doing. Yes, I did want some dialogue to let me know what's going on from time to time. Just a little bit. But when there's a whole story set up in the background with human counterpart stars or guest stars in the book, that's when I'm like, if the story is supposed to be about them when Godzilla attacks, perfect. If the story is about Godzilla fighting evil aliens, I want the focal point on that, and I don't need a secondary story, or make it a secondary story. End the regular Godzilla and then go into a side story or a second story in the book.
Maybe they wanted to combine it together.
They did.
But then, yeah. Some may have liked it, and some may have not. It's
but I did love the artwork in Godzilla Rulers of Earth. I would definitely recommend it. It was a great story. I just feel like the extra stars, the extra story bits in it really took away from the Godzilla fighting the aliens at times. Not the whole time, just at times. But it was still very good, and I would definitely recommend it. I believe it was 20-somewhat issues. It ended last week, and Godzilla in Hell just started this week. Recommend that also if you're a Godzilla fan. And with that, that's it for this indie review. So as always, guys, don't forget to check out ComicFrontline.com, Zone4Podcast.com, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Big 2 review coming up soon. We're going to be recording both of these in the same night, hopefully uploading them in the same night. The internet's been wonky tonight. After I did the whole video yesterday, so that should be up by now. It's Saturday, so it should definitely be up by now. So take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see you guys, or we'll see you guys really soon in the next review.
Later, everybody.